Well, just how safe is the air we breathe? New studies show there are serious health effects from air pollution in communities right across Canada. Our health specialist, Dr. Ali Zentner, is here to shed some light on this for us, and thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell me, there's a couple of studies done here. What types of pollution are we talking about?
So we're talking about two large-scale trials. One came out in Lancet Oncology just this past week, and one in the Lancet, which are quite reputable studies. The first looked at the risk of adenocarcinoma of the lung, or lung cancer, in association with air pollution, particularly what we call particulate matter, so sort of particles in the air, and found truly a dose response of the higher amounts of particulate matter in the air, a stronger correlation, about a 20% increase in most cases.
Now, what did you find surprising about these studies? Like, what kind of health effects are we talking about?
So it was the second study that I think was most surprising for me, that looked at the rates of hospitalization in chronic heart failure patients in association with pollution. We knew long ago that pollution caused increased risk of heart attacks, was more of an exacerbation for asthmatics and people with respiratory illness. But this one showed a strong correlation in hospitalization in patients with chronic heart failure in association with higher pollution areas.
Not to alarm anybody here, but when you go, it went right across the country. It was quite specific. What did you find? Anything there jump out at you?
So this was an American trial that actually recommended that if we could lower our pollution rates below a certain rate, and they used a specific number of 6 micrometers per kilometer square, that we would see almost in the United States about an 8,000 reduction in hospitalizations per year. In Canada, we're looking at about a quarter of that, just because of numbers. I think we're translating into, one, a huge health benefit, and two, in particular, a cost benefit to the government. So you're looking at, remember that heart failure is the #1 reason for hospitalization in this country.
Right, that's surprising. That's something I hadn't heard before. Now, we're running out of time, but just quickly, for people who are watching this, maybe they have respiratory problems or asthma, what can people do? Is there anything they can do?
You know, I'm not asking people to move to the country or move to a safer air quality, but I think it's important to look at air quality when you're going outside or even when you're traveling. If you have a chronic illness, in particular heart failure being one of them, that might actually subject you to an exacerbation.
All right, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.